Good evening and welcome here to cloudy Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're trying to get qualifying in today. Rain has been a big factor all weekend. Rain washed out all activities we were going to have for Thursday. But here today, trying to get qualifying in. It's our last attempt, and many drivers are hoping we get this session in and hoping that we don't wash out qualifying, because there's some teams like second in the point standings, James Silverfox, who are sitting on no owner points and need this qualifying session to get their cars in the field. 52 cars attempting, 10 cars will go to the house as we set the field for you for Sunday's race. It'll be the 4th race of the season, and it'll set the field for Sunday's race like we had said. After this race weekend, it'll be we'll be using owner points for this year. We will no longer be looking back at last year's owner points to determine who gets in on provisionals. So a lot of drivers gonna have to get on the money one last time who have no owner points from last year, and then some drivers who are low on owner points this year, guys like Sean Harple, some guys coming off the top of my head that are low in points. And Eric DeMax is one rookie needing to step it up in points. Jesse Turner, he's been running very solid so far this year. He has not found any luck in trying to win races or be the dominant car to win races, but Turner, he could go back to victory lane for this race weekend. His teammate Jake Bassinger won at California, and Turner, the winner here of this race last year, sitting 5th in points. This could be where he shows out and wins a race. As we're looking here, Sean Harple, the 31 Athenian car, we had said that he was very low in points. Harple is down in 34th in the standings. He's had speed this season, however, has not had the finishes to show for it. And he's gonna be, I think Harple's going to be a driver to watch out for all season long. Even though he's struggled to start off the season, I think he's going to be a real contender for Athenian Motorsports and could possibly get a win this season for his first win of the season and first win of his career. Harple 15th right now. Dejon Weeks had to use a provisional to get into the race last weekend. He's 18th, not that quick right now. Dylan Young 5th, his teammate really quick. Charlie Smith has ran very solid. He has got that car in the field every race, and that team has no owner points, still having to qualify in on speed. So Charlie Smith, one of those drivers, continuing to be a go-or-go-homer for the first 4 races, and he's done a great job getting that car in the field. Jeff James failed to make the Daytona 500, but Smith has got that car every weekend right now. Currently 12th. Milton Campbell, 25th. Gonna have to find some speed in that 74 Toyota. DJ Curtis, currently the fastest driver with a 27.746. And he's trying to win the pole. He's been very quick to start the season off with a 2nd and a 3rd in the round 2 and 3. Josh Crash, who was the pole sitter for Rockingham, is right now struggling to find speed in the 26 Dodge. 22nd right now, with half of the session already complete. DJ Curtis the fastest, Jesse Turner, Jeffrey Finguy with a heck of a qualifying run right now, 3rd, Jake Bassinger 4th, Kyle Collins 5th, William Brock 6th, Casey Lester 7th, Nick Mace 8th, Garrett Sidner 9th, Dylan Young the top 10, and then is Rodriguez in 11th, PJ Williams 12th. Charlie Smith in 13th. 14th is Alex Bignacco, doing a great job for right now to getting that car in on speed. Chris Dodd, 15th. Stephen Plower III, trying to get that car in the field for the first time all season. He's 16th. Jeffrey Lynn, 17th. And Scott Roush on the bubble right now for Young Wicked Racing, subbing for the injured Hayden Klein. Klein has had to use a past champions provisional to get that car in every race so far. So Roush, 18th and in on speed as of now, but we still have 4 minutes on the clock, and that still means that Dejon Weeks, Caleb Hoffman, Sean Harple, Josh Crash, Andreas Allen, Johnny Gardner, Luis Hernandez, and Milton Campbell all still have time to knock Roush out. And those are some big, heavy hitters that are outside of the top 18 in Session 1. So we're going to look here, looking to see if there's Dejon Weeks trying to pick up. He can't do it. Tire wear is going to be big here at Atlanta. If you run about 3 to 4 laps and you're still out there on them old tires, it's going to be so hard to pick up speed. Caleb Hoffman trying to pick up, can't do it. Jeffrey Lynn, hometown hero. He's struggled to find some speed to start off the season. Many people look to him as to be the leader for Allen Family Racing to get that car up there contending for races and race wins. However, Lynn has struggled to find some speed to start the season. We'll see how he can do. Jeffrey Fenya is still 3rd overall, having a good solid run. But Caleb Hoffman cannot bump in and is right now out. But how about Scott Roush, super sub, trying to get that car in the field. He's on the motor tires, so he will not be able to pick up unless he gets some new tires, because Atlanta eats at the tires. And you can see Matthew Rodriguez going to go driving around Scott Roush, but Roush possibly could get this car in on speed. Like we said earlier, drivers that are surprising me that are in on speed, like now Pollard the third having a great run to be in right now, 16th, and Alex Bianco, the rookie. CM Racing trying to go back-to-back weekends, getting their cars in the show. They had to use a provisional to get in last week with Hannah Allen. Finished 29th there. Nick Mace 8th. Bassinger, the winner at California, 4th overall right now. He's actually not slowed down all that much. He is close to beating his time. Brock having good solid speed. So is his teammate of Casey Lester. Collins is pretty fast out there, 5th. So we still look. About a 1/10 of a second separates Roush and Weeks with 1:30 on the clock. We saw last week somebody's blowing up in front of him, and that's Caleb Hoffman. So Hoffman not only will have to change engines, and will have to start at the rear. So he'll be at the rear anyway, because he'll use a provisional to get in the field. I can't quite remember whose owner points he has from last year, but one of the 4 Turner Performance cars, and Hoffman will have to go to the rear for Sunday's race. But as time ticks away, nearly a minute left on the clock, we're looking to see who's the guys on the speeds that need to pick up. Roush is in by a 1/10 right now. Josh Crash needing to find something. We'll see how he does. Coming to the line. Crash cannot pick up. Hernandez picks up, only up to 24th though. Still needing to find some speed, some drivers. Allen, can he pick up? No, he can't. He's not going to find any speed there. A big wad of cars right there, but none of them, all of them are in the top 18 right now. Gardner, he just came out on fresher tires, so Gardner's going to give it a go here in the last couple of seconds. And Dejon Weeks trying to return to the track, but it looks like it's going to be too little too late. Harple can't do it. And I'm looking, Andreas Allen still not able to bump in. So DJ Curtis still looks like is going to win the pole. We're going to see here how Johnny Gardner does. He's out on new tires, and he does not pick up. Scott Roush looks like he's going to get in the field. However, Hernandez, he doesn't pick up either. Weeks, oh, he came back to the line. I don't think he's going to be credited with this lap coming back around. So as many cars come back around to the line, Jake Bassinger trying to beat the timer. He got there in time, but it wasn't enough. And I think they're not counting scores anymore. I'm pretty sure as we look here at Josh Crash. Nope, they're not counting the speeds anymore. So Scott Roush hangs on and gets the 9 in the field on speed. And Dejon Weeks for the 2nd week in a row will have to use provisional to get in. And will have to come from the rear. Caleb Hoffman will have to change engines and start at the rear. He'll be there anyway. Sean Harple will have to use a provisional, I'm pretty sure. Man, that's it for Session 1. For the end of Session 1, it is DJ Curtis that'll be right now the provisional pole sitter, a 27.746. That is the time to beat if you want to take the pole from Curtis. Jesse Toner second. Jeffrey Finguy with a solid run in third. That's a good run for Finguy. Jake Bassinger in fourth, and Kyle Collins is going to start in the top 10 on Sunday. He'll be in fifth place. Good run for Collins. Sixth for William Brock. His teammate Casey Lester's in seventh. Good run for the Horizon Group cars. Nick Mace, 8th. Garrett Cinder gets it in the field this weekend. He's 9th. Dylan Young, 10th. Outside the top 10 in the session. Matthew Rodriguez, P.J. Williams. Chris Dodd picks it up late in the session, only up to 13th. Charlie Smith down to 14th. Alex Bianco will make his first ever Sony Cup Series start this Sunday with CM Racing, gets it in the field, 15th. Stephen Poller III and Red Stallion Racing makes their first start of the season, gets it 16th. Jeffrey Lynn, known in the qualifying sessions late to be around the bubble mark, he's 17th. And Scott Roush gets Hayden Klein's race team in on speed for the 4th week in a row and gets the final spot to get in on speed by about 9/1000ths of a second over Dejon Weeks. Weeks will use provisional, so will Caleb Hoffman. Pretty sure Harple will as well. Hernandez will be sent home for the third race, not in the road, but third race of the season. Hernandez will fail to make it on speed. Josh Crash could be sent home. Andreas Allen could be sent home. Johnny Gardner will be home, going home anyway, along with Milton Campbell. Those two I know will be sent to the house. Allen and Crash more than likely will also be sent to the house, with big names like Weeks, Hoffman, and Harple not making it in on speed. Session 2 is underway as all the drivers roll out and give it their go to try and take the pole. 27.746 is the time to beat to take the pole from DJ Curtis. But a lot of drivers, some of these drivers are just focused on the top 18, and that's the main goal, to make the race. As we look here, Sean Perkins recently just jumped up from 39th in points up to 24th. He gained 15 points, 15 positions in points last year with a top 15 last weekend with a top 15 run. Finished, I think, 14th. His team was really quick in Session 1. Curious to see how Perkins will run. He runs a 28.48, but we expect everyone to pick up a little bit of speed in the first few laps. And here's one of the bigger news headlines for this race weekend. Scott Roush getting that 9 car was a big story there because that team of the 9 team had struggled to make it in on speed, and they had to use past champion provisional with Hayden Klein to make it in the field for the first 3 races. And this race, Scott Roush gets the final spot on speed. That was a feel-good story for Young Wicked Racing. And this is another one. Charles Sanford getting injured just like Hayden Klein, having to sit out. This is a big story. Luke Martin getting tapped to drive for Mace Enterprises. He's known before that he's drove for Mace Enterprises back in the older days with Mace. But for Nick Mace to call up his own rival team owner of Luke Martin and say, I need your help. Need a driver for the 24 car. Luke Martin was honored and wanted to drive the car. And he's got a sponsor, Viagra, on the car. So this is a big deal for Luke Martin to come to Atlanta with Mace Enterprises and try and go after some wins. Top 5 in the standings right now on the time trial sheets. He's actually 40th in points. Even though he started the Daytona 500, he dominated the Daytona 500. Could have won the 500 with the 34 team of United Emirates Racing. But Martin switching it up and driving for Mace Enterprises. It's been a heck of a story for this weekend that he would be driving for him. Eric Burton 6th, 4th now. This is a fast little pack of Steven Jenkins in 6th, Martin in 3rd. Right now the quickest one on the time trial sheets is Ryan Griffin. He is just barely off the speed of what Curtis ran, a 27.757. He needs to pick up about a 10th, or not a 10th, about a 100th of a second. But right now, the fastest driver in Session 2. As we're closing in on halfway in the session, we're going to look and see where everyone's at. It's Griffin right now the fastest. Cody Lama 2nd. Luke Martin in 3rd. Eric Burton in 4th. His teammate of Levi Pasco's in 5th. Bradley Bishop Jr. in 6th. So the Blue Flares are pretty quick. All of them are being in the top 10 in their sessions. Jordan Davis 7th, actually getting bumped down now as James Silverfox runs fast up in the 3rd position. 9th place is Dom Capps, who has been on a tear to start off the season. This is the lowest we've seen him on speed in qualifying, down there in 9th. Stephen Jenkins in 10th. Jordan Fisher down in 11th. 12th place is Ryan Acosta. 13th is the 13 car of Nick Pierre-Calise. Dylan Schwellenberg is now 15th, as I think it was Fitzwater that jumped up. And Perkins is 16th. John Bunnell is currently in. How about that for Hood Huddleston Racing? They're a Southeast race team, and they're trying to get this car in at Atlanta. Atlanta's one of their tracks that they wanted to try and get in right here. They're a Southeastern team. And how about John Bunnell, 17th? I'm still kind of blown away by that. Carson Scott in 18th. James Shelley down in 19th, needing to get in on speed. And the Maverick Motorsports car, the 21 outside looking in. Then the 34 of Aiden Shepard's also on the outside looking in. Jeff James is outside. Bobby Jones not in on speed. Eric DeMax looking for some speed. Cole Deaver and Doug Lockroad. But, man, still the fastest driver is Ryan Griffin. We've been focused on him this whole time. As we look here, Jeff James coming down pit road to make an adjustment and get some new tires. We expect him to be out there to try and get that car in the field. Man, Jeff James, if he would have missed this race, it would be quite shocking. Jeff James in the 52 team, low in the points. And even after this race, so low in the point standings, he'll still have to qualify in because the provisional won't go that far back to him. That's still shocking to me. Dom Capps making adjustments. The point leader, currently 9th right now. It's not as fast as I would have expected him to be. But one driver, one underdog driver we're so surprised is in right now. It is John Bunnell. John Bunnell 17th on the board for Hood Huddleston Racing. That is like seeing Doug Lockroad, Cole Deaver, Johnny Gardner, Milton Campbell. Those teams in the top 18. They've struggled to start the season, and none of them have made any races so far. Bunnell has attempted all 3 of the races so far. This is his 4th attempt this season. And Bunnell could possibly get in. He's 17th. We saw with Scott Roush, he was able to hang on to an 18th spot. Relatively identical times that the 18th place driver was sitting on. So they're running about the same speed as Roush and Scott ran about the identical times and positions, 18th to hold the spot. But I am very blown away at John Bunnell being able to get that car in the field. But right now, only 1/100th of a second separates Griffin, who's the fastest driver, from taking the pole from DJ Curtis. Oh boy, but Griffin's going to pull it in. I think he's going to give it up. Perkins goes around him. Here comes Dom Capps. He's out there. He just made an adjustment. Going to see what he can do. Trying to lay down a lap. This next one was going to be really quick, I assume. So we look back here. 18th is still Carson Scott. Looking on at some of these other drivers. Shepard needing to get in. Bobby Jones needing to get in. He can't do it. Neither can James Shelley. Here's one driver I really want to look at. Dom Capps. See what he can run. He picked up, but not enough to beat his fastest lap. As we look at all these other drivers coming to the line. Aiden Shepard. Been out there on some old tires. Looks like that team's going to fail to qualify unless they can get a provisional. But provisional land doesn't look it's going to go as far back as I believe it would. But James Shelley really getting held up here and needing to find some speed, or he'll fail to make the race. Currently, the difference of making it is 4 1/1000ths of a second. Jeff James needing to find some speed. However, he nearly got spun off the bumper of Fitzwater. He's 12th. Silverfox in 3rd. That team right there, the 28, recently announced that they are going full-time racing in the Sony Cup Series. They're second in the point standings. They're running so solid right now, and they're wanting to go full speed into the season. They were going to be a part-time organization, but they're going to make it a full-time effort and try and win the championship. Eric DeMax back there's another driver using the draft to his advantage. I wonder if he'll be able to pick up. His time is ticking away. Still the fastest driver, I believe, is Griffin. But DeMax can't pick up. None of the drivers picked up. Griffin trying to... Oh, Griffin's no longer the fastest one. It is Dom Caps. And Dom Caps, for the second week in a row, unless someone else beats him, he's going to be the pole sitter. Out time trialing. DJ Curtis from Session 1. As we look here, Jeff James, what's he going to be able to run? Can't pick up. Shelley can't pick up either. And that's it. That is it for the qualifying Session 2. And we're going to be able to set you the field lineup for Sunday's race. Back-to-back weekends. Dom Caps will start on the front row, beating DJ Curtis's lap by about 1/100 of a second and surpassing his teammate Ryan Griffin. That's a great run for that team. Griffin, he ran very well at Kansas last year. He won there in another 1.5-mile track. He's so good at these 1.5-milers. Watch out for Griffin come Sunday, second quick. Cody Lamas looking to turn his season around. He's been very quick this season, however, has not had the finishes to show for it. A lot of bad luck at Rockingham, at California, and even Daytona. And he's looking to turn it around here at Atlanta. James Sorfox fourth. Luke Martin in his return is the fastest Mace car in this session. He's fifth fastest. Davis's teammate sixth. Eric Burton with his teammate Levi Pascoe, 7th and 8th. Bishop Jr. in 9th. Jenkins in 10th. Jordan Fisher with his teammate Fitzwater 11th and 12th. Sean Perkins down in 13th. Ryan Acosta 14th. Nick Pericles rounds out the 15th position. Schwellenberg gets it in the field for the third race of the season. He'll make his third start. John Bunnell will make his Sony Cup Series debut alongside Alex Bianco. They'll make their first ever Sony Cup Series starts on Sunday. What a job by Bunnell and Hood Huddleston Racing to make their first race since Daytona in 2017. It's a great job for that team. 17th, and they will race Sunday. They got it in on speed. Carson Scott rounds out the fastest 18 to get in on speed, and missing it by 4/1000ths of a second. James Shelley will be sent to the house. Zayden Davidson will also be sent home. Aiden Shepard will more than likely be sent to the house. Jeff James will be sent home for a second race this season. Missed the Daytona 500 and missed here at Atlanta. But that team has been struggling right now. You can see like drivers like Eric DeMax down there outside. He's 24th, and with a Mace car, Mace engines, something is just missing out of that camp. You can tell. Bobby Jones 23rd, more than likely going to be able to use the provisional to get in. But Cole Ever and Doug Lockrow will be sent home for the 4th weekend in a row. And as we send you the starting lineup for Sunday's race.